All right, so this is in a series. One of my channels, I'm going to add extra videos in that particular playlist. But on my other two, I don't know, at least at Telling Truth 3, that's the general one I share on my Facebook, which is a little less crazy. Interesting, one of the comments came through at Telling Truth 3. Have you ever been checked for mental illness? And of course, sometimes members of Mystery Babylon will troll you. Sometimes you're trolled by the AI, but sometimes it's just a local person that knows me and they just want to be mean. All of this has to be understood. You have to be you have to have some pretty thick skin. I mean, I thought about Noah when he was building his ark, and of course my ark, it doesn't protect my body, but I have a spiritual ark in hope of. That's already built by the Holy Spirit. Everything is spirit. And I cannot be killed spiritually by Mystery Babylon. They can only kill my body. How's that volume? It's horrible. Thank you, Lord, for reminding me to check the volume. I sound much better now, don't I? So we're looking at this May time frame. And I'm astonished that they
On Her Majesty
allowed me to tape that much of a movie and not block me. They didn't block any of it. So that's cool. And but this was the Alpine room. We know that. Let me do the first part of the video first, then I'll get back to this. This is the first part of the video I want y'all to know. As we're looking at May 9th for the event, No Time to Die featured poison flowers. May is the month for flowers. Names of each moon. And they call it, the names of the full moons. But when the new moon begins, I think that's just all part of it. This looks like it'll give it to you. Good grief. Time and date. This looks pretty basic. So you see in May, it's the flower moon, and that's what they gave you in iPet Goat. But of course, it was last year's flower full moon on May 5th. That was delivered by the solar eclipse. This year, the solar eclipse does not deliver the flower moon, it delivers the pink full moon. But last year, the eclipse was in April, just like this year. But the solar eclipse, the new moon last year was late April. It was April 20th. So the full moon 15 days later was May 5th. So the April new moon gave you the May full moon. And that's what was shown in iPet Goat, which we've shown you many times. But this year's flower full moon is all the way back to the 23rd. The new moon is May 7th. And of course, I'm looking big time at May 9th per previous videos on this playlist. And so let's get into two other things that make you think this could be the time, at least the month, that the Antichrist receives his fake staged deadly wound. Movie Killers of the Flower Moon. It's up for almost as many awards as Oppenheimer. Killers of the Flower Moon. May 20th at Cannes Film Festival. United States wide release October 20th. James Bond, No Time to Die, of course, all about the rising of the Antichrist. There's no time to die. I'm going to rise. Poison flowers in No Time to Die. So it's not going to read to us, eh? Well, it says here foxgloves are one of the poison garden features in the film, along with other regular favorites. And of course, they spelled favorites the English style. And I guess that's because this is from the Australian Institute of Horticulture. And foxgloves are indeed poisonous, especially in their roots. So in No Time to Die, Safin notices the foxgloves plant. That was in the middle of the movie, or in the early part of the movie, or early middle. And then, of course, it was the poison flower garden at the end of the movie where Bond dies. Um, Poison flower garden, No Time to Die. Poison garden. Well, is this just music? Because it's Hans Zimmer. You want to get a copyright strike? Play more than 7 seconds of a song and you'll be nailed. Movie clips. No Time to Die. James Bond versus Safin. So he dies in that poison flower garden. So this is, you see the flowers all in the backdrop. See the flowers. This is the poison flower garden area. And let's try it again. Get you another scene. What is his love interest name? I forget. Poison flower garden, No Time to Die. I want to get that other scene. Yeah, this was it. It was there all along. So he's got a hold of Bond's daughter, snatched it out of mommy's arms, and they're going to take a tour of the poison flower garden. And she tells the girl, "Don't touch that flower because it's poisonous." And this is the flower moon time frame. May is the month. It's the flower moon, and we're talking about poison. Now, if the event goes down beforehand, what the poison would then represent is what we've been telling you is going to make everybody ill. The SELL dash TOWERZ. That's on every street corner. That helps you communicate with people on a device. Those waves can be turned up extremely high, like they've never been before, and directly affect people that took what was offered at the end of 2020 on the total solar eclipse. Was the first day, the total solar eclipse that sat between the two total solars that make the X across America. Can't make it up. It's 2,422 days between both solar eclipses that form the X across America. The exact middle of that is 1,211 days, and right on day 1,211 from the first one was the day of the first offering. So, very intense movie. I loved all 5 of the Daniel Craig movies. They were very gripping, but on Her Majesty's Secret Service connected to No Time to Die. In No Time to Die, the music of OHMSS by Louis Armstrong is played over the scene where Craig's Bond and Madeline drive over the cliff tops of Italy. So that's at the end of the movie. We Have All the Time in the World is the song that Louis Armstrong did. But actually, in the middle of the movie, there's a scene where Bond and them are talking. No Time to Die, all references to other Bond films. That's interesting. I've never seen this one. Ooh, that looks like a good one too. No Time to Die versus On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
No Time to Die is packed full of references to the 24 other movies.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Clay from Clear Critique, and if
All right. Can't wait to watch. I'm just intrigued by all this stuff. Bond girls, villains, action, presentation, story. I don't know really what that's going to offer us. How No Time to Die references all Bond movies. Might as well watch that one too. All right. Want a copyright strike? Just go another 5 seconds. And but there is an awesome scene. I did it a long time ago. I think I tried to produce the backdrop. I can do a search. Um, no Time to Die. Let's just see if On Her Majesty's Secret Service pops up. Skyfall versus No Time to Die, Walking On. No Time to Die, give or take. James Bond Resurrection Oscars. We have All the Time in the World. No Time to Die, Eclipse. The Trident. That's very interesting because on Her Majesty's Secret Service, they at the opening credits they show you the Trident, which is Poseidon because he's the beast out of the sea. The seventh king of Mystery Babylon is the beast out of the sea. There it is, slow, faint playing of On Her Majesty's Secret Service theme song in the background. I don't know if we're going to be able to get picked up on this, but when they're tracking Bond in No Time to Die on a computer screen, they go, which one is Bond? And Q goes, he's the Trident. He's the Poseidon or something to that effect. So
Yeah, so another just fascinating.
fascinating. I really can't stand me on video. You know how you don't like the sound of your own voice? But let's see the Trident, No Time to Die. They show you at the beginning of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I want to tell you something else that's weird. Frozen ice. In the movie The Omen or Omen 2, the man falls into the frozen ice, and No Time to Die begins with Bond's love interest going into the ice as a child, and Safin, the eventual villain at the end. There's two different villains. There's Blofeld and Safin. Safin saves her from the ice, and in The Dark Knight Rises, they're all falling into the ice. And oh, there was another movie and I forgot. But there's a lot of frozen ice scenes that is all connected to these movies. And you know the movie Frozen and Mr. Freeze, the abyss is frozen over and it's cracked open. That's the abyss that's open when the Antichrist rises out of the abyss or out of the pit. When you go to, well, I just missed it. Let's try right there. And it slowed way down for us. You see the snow. Well, when it's snow moon time in February, we're always a little perplexed, but we just passed the full moon in February. But you see them coming up out of the ice. So I think that's in reference to all the movies where you see the frozen over ice. I digressed, didn't I? So, but there's a trident. Bond is repped by the trident. There's the ice trapped into the ice in No Time to Die. There's the trident at the beginning of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and it's also at the beginning. I mean, there's a trident at the beginning of No Time to Die in the previews because that's the lead actress's name. Well, am I showing it here? No, that's No Time to Die, isn't it?
Believable.
Let's just see what I said.
Fascinating thing. Comparison
I
between
can't find it, so I'm just gonna have to listen to it.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service and No Time to Die. Both theme songs open up with the trident. Unbelievable. I mean, talk about how they are just completely. I have to pause back and forth because this is a song and a movie.
Yeah, goofball, but
So
you
we
didn't
cover
show
it.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So I'm gonna have to pause, bring it up on my TV since On Her Majesty's Secret Service is loaded in the DVD player. I'm just gonna have to bring it up, put it up, and then we'll be back. So hang on. All right, did have to make a video because when I brought it up on the DVD player on the opening credits after the initial scene, you see the trident. And so then that allows us to then get back to No Time to Die, where they show you the trident in the opening credits of that. So the movies are linked big time. In the Alpine Room scene in that I just gave us on Her Majesty's Secret Service, the Alpine Room is what this was called, then I think relates to what is seen in a Google search as the Heidi Bowl. And it was when Heidi interrupted the Jets Raiders, right eye utterly darkened. Jets is what knocked down the twin Trumps and killed Donnie Darko. And that was all fake and staged, planned event because it was on November 17th, which is 11/17, which is the right eye wound Bible verse. Zechariah 11/17, the right eye wound utterly darkened of the Antichrist. And this is the Alpine movie theater in the movie Groundhog Day. And it says Heidi 2. And what it's really saying is the next time the twin Trumps go down. 11/17. It's a lot, isn't it? So you've got Killers of the Flower Moon movie. And you've got the Poison Flowers of No Time to Die. That really, again, just like last year, we were looking at this time frame, especially because that particular flower full moon was what was given to us in iPad Go 2. It's funny, iPad Go begins with Bush, followed by Obama. And Bush has my birthday, and then Obama has my first wife's birthday. I know. So let's look at a few things. If you want to stick around, we'll go into this a little bit deeper. Let's keep going down the rabbit hole. See about connections. This is just extraordinary. So like we said, May 20th, 2023, Cannes Film Festival. When you run it to what I say is the rising day, 5/11, which transfer portals over to 9/11, 357 days, the amount of verses in the book of Daniel. And look where it says, or 11 months, 21 days. That's 121. And 121 is Antichrist. Well, I just pulled it up and apparently got rid of it. Antichrist. Antichrist. So you see Antichrist in English, ordinal, or simple gematria is 121. And 121 is coded. 11 months, 21 days. That's a 1-1-2-1. And that's how they do things. You also have 68 in the hours. We know to always look at the hours from the movie The Hours. 68 is a reversal of 86. If you run it to the other date, which is October 20th, to the rising day, it's 204 days. But that's also the date of the solar eclipse that gave us the flower, full moon, and IPEC goat, the 20th of April. So it's just fascinating what they did. If you go to the 86ing day of 2 days before, because he rises on the third day spiritually, it's 28 weeks, 6 days. That's 286. 86, of course, means to eliminate or to get rid of. And you look at the hours, it's 4848, which is Donald Trump in full reduction gematria. So anyway, that's it. Let me see if I got anything in my prep. Yeah, the big video I did last night, it kicked in at 11:17, which is Zechariah 11:17's Bible verse, and the length was exactly 40:40. Well, that's 404, the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. So it was like, wow. And what video is that? That would be the video. The thumbnail should say 4041 right there. May 9th is surely the date. V for Vendetta is the key cipher. But when you click it, it's 4040. It wasn't on YouTube. It'll say 4040. So yeah, it kicked in at exactly 11:17. I thought that was pretty fascinating. 2:28 last night at 11:17. Zoom released. In other words, Zoom was done uploading it. The full moon April from the eclipse. Full moon from the X across America eclipse. Okay, the moon goes full. Okay, the X across America total solar eclipse is the new moon that gives you the full moon that goes full at 23:48. 3:48 is 34 is murder, 48 is Donald Trump. It's the fusion of murder, Donald Trump, like we've told you many times. Let's bring up murder. I'm sorry if you're a regular on this channel and you're like, you're going to do this again? And no, I'm not mocking the way you talk. Sorry. So look at full reduction 34 for murder. Look at 48 full reduction for Donald Trump. So the fusion of murder Donald Trump is putting them together 348, 34 and 48. That's the time of the full moon on April 23rd. Now, usually, like if you go to last year, you will see the full moons are always the next month, the previous day. It's about a 29.5-day cycle. So if the full moon, now in February, when it's short, it messes it up. But let's just say a full moon on March 24th. The next one would be April 23rd. The next one would be May 22nd. The next would be June 21st, then July 20th, then August 19th. It's usually always the next month is minus 1 day. This year, it is completely different than I've ever seen it because I track this stuff like crazy, as y'all know. This year, there are many months lumped together. And just like the full moon is the 21st in June and the 21st in July, then it drops then it drops 2 in August down to the 19th. And I think September's is the 18th. October, I think, is the 17th, but April and May are combined both on the 23rd. March is the 25th, so it goes 25, 23, 23, 21, 21. So instead of going down one each time, they double up and then go down two. So it's symbolic of the 2 months being kind of married to each other. April and May. So this April full moon gives you 2, 348, or 2, the murder of Donald Trump, which means this full moon at the end of April is heading to the murder of Donald Trump, which I believe it's saying is now the next month. We're heading to it. We're going in that direction. 2, 348. That's the time of the full moon. Let's go ahead and bring that up for you. We're in Eastern time zone. That's the future Antichrist time zone, whether it's Mar-a-Lago, White House, or Trump Tower, all things Eastern time zone. So if you look at April, you see the solar eclipse at 1420, which again, the 420 is last year's total solar eclipse that gave us the flower full moon of IPAC Goat. You see the full moon in April is 1948. Oh, no, that's 748. Why did I say 2348? I wonder if that was a different time zone. The English time zone, or where the reset to UTGMT. Yeah, it's 2348 in Britain, or where you have the what they call the GMT time. Okay, so that was not Eastern time. Well, that was a big waste of our time, sort of, but you know, it is 2348 at the international dateline, I think they call it. Or I feel like the international dateline is in the Pacific Ocean. But what is GMT time in England? International dateline. Yeah, it's
According to NOAA's National Ocean Service, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the International Dateline, established in 1884, passes through the mid-Pacific Ocean and roughly follows a 180 degrees longitude north-south line on the Earth. It is located halfway around the world from the prime meridian, the 0 degrees longitude line in Greenwich, England.
Yeah, so England, that's what we were saying. So international dateline is in the Pacific, and then this Greenwich, England, or this GMT, that's where it's zeroed out. Okay. Whew. Man, I'm just all over the place. Let's get back to it. Let's keep going. So it's moving us to the next month, the new moon, May 7th. Well, let's go look at the Eastern times. I like doing Eastern. Eastern in May is May 7th at 11. Now, this is Eastern. It's 2321, which is 1121. 1121 is 121 Antichrist. And we just saw the 1121 when we ran that date from the Flower Full, the movie Killers of the Flower Moon. 1121. So 2321 is 11:21 p.m. It's the 23rd hour, or 11 p.m. So now I'm on track. 2321 gives you 121 Antichrist. That's the new moon on May 7th. I think he goes down 2 days later. Now, there is a 511, which will be his rising day. The prime number is 3659. Interesting that the date 59 is in the 511th prime number. Also the number 36, which is the triangular number for 666. When you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, all the way through, plus 34, plus 35, plus 36, the sum is 666. They call these triangular numbers. And I don't know if I have them backwards. What is a triangular number? I don't know if I call that 60.
Here's the definition of triangular number. Any of the series of numbers, 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, etc., obtained by continued summation of the natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc.
There's no help whatsoever. What is triangular numbers in math? Representation. Numbers, a form of equilateral triangle arranged in a series of, hang on just a second. Yeah, so when you build a pyramid, if 1's at the top, then 2 is below it, then 3 is below that, then 4 is below that. It's whatever builds a triangle. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that goes, I don't know. All right, well, 36 is the triangular number of 666. Or 666 equals the 36th triangular number. I knew it was something like that. 666-36th triangular number. There's 36 levels. So 36 is another way to say 666, along with the fact that it's saying 3 6s. Anyway, if this isn't all just super confusing enough for you, I don't know what else to tell me. So anyway, the 511th prime number for the date on 511, you have a 36 followed by, it's 3,659. So you have that 36 or 666 with 59. The 509th prime number, which is the date of the event, 36 and 37. 37, of course, is the prime number for the church because it's the 12th prime number. 37 goes into 666, 555, 444, 333, 999, 777. Like if you say 666 divided by 37, it divides evenly 18 times. Remember, 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. So I know it's crazy. 509, the date, is a prime number. It is the 97th prime number. The 97th verse of Revelation is the opening of the first seal, Revelation 6:1, as the next verse is the white horse crowning, the 98th verse. The 98th prime number is 521, as the 99th prime number is 523, the date of the full moon in May. The eclipse is on day 99, Agent 86, Agent 99. The deadly wound, I've always said, is the verse, the 97th verse of Revelation, or the opening of the seal. That's the deadly wound. And then on the third day or 2 days later is his rising. That's his crowning. Because it says Jesus, death, comma, crowned with the glory. Because Jesus truly rose from the dead, where the Antichrist seemingly rises from the dead because it's a body double switch, the twin trumps, twin towers. What rises back up? One World Trade Tower. Remember, Lord of the Rings was Fellowship of the Ring, which is about the members of Mystery Babylon that run this earth. The second was called The Two Towers. And then the third was called Return of the King, which is the Antichrist, returning seemingly from the dead. So 97th prime number being the date we think 509 or May 9th, because again, the 97th prime number is 509. The date we think he's going down. And the 97th prime number being the date we think 509, May 9th, is an extreme tell, in my opinion. Okay. Everybody's guess is as good as mine on when the deadly wound event is taking place, but I am big on May 9th right now. I will tell you something else I do to track numbers. I saw this by accident one time. Electricity goes off, the ovens get jacked up times, and I have always usually left them like they were. Sometimes usually one stayed and the other was given a new time. And I just pressed start at whatever the crazy new time was, and I would see how the number synced up. And I noticed one time it was 3 hours up and then 3 minutes back. And it causes a lot of reverse numbers. Like 714 or 214. The time 214, when you go up 3 hours, back 3 minutes, it's up three, back three, up 3 hours, minus 3 minutes. 417 and 714 are reverses. Okay, 417, then reverses 714. Well, when you go up 3 hours from up 4, you go to 7, but it's 17 minutes, so you subtract 3, so you go 14 minutes. So it's a complete reversal. And this happens, I think I had another email where I saw it again. Yeah, 306 and 603. So at 306, you go up 3 hours and you subtract 3 minutes. It turns into 603. So there's a lot of reversals like that. And I noticed that 511, which is our rising date, matches 214. Well, the 214th verse is Revelation 13:3, the first time deadly wound is mentioned. And each time it's mentioned in Revelation 13, the 666 chapter, it is deadly wound, but did live, because he's going to have seemingly returned from the dead. 214, go up 3 hours, you're at 5, minus 3 minutes, you're at 511. So it's a perfect match for the deadly wound being healed because it's his rising. And that goes on to match 11:17, the Bible verse of Zechariah 11:17, the right eye wound, because if you're at 11 o'clock, 11:17, if you're at 11, go up 3 hours, you're at 2 o'clock. But now you're going to subtract 3 minutes, you're at 214. So they're all married to each other in this crazy, weird way that I just discovered by accident. So anyway, but we see what the Lord's done there if this all matches up, because if the Lord ever gives us the date, and I have thought he has many times, and it ended up just being my stupid flesh, which this could be also. But that's why I do these videos, so I run this by y'all. We're all playing Robert Langdon's role in the Da Vinci Code, where he was exposing the divine feminine. That was the backdrop of the movie. But in the Da Vinci Code, he constantly looked at clues, anagrams, any type of, because their whole world, Mystery Babylon's world, is hidden in symbols, codes, riddles, because that's their world is an upside down world of our Lord's, and Jesus spoke in parables. I showed the other day in a Bible study the word riddle and parable were in the same verse in the Old Testament. And that's why Trump called himself Batman. In that video we've shown you many times, when the kid said, "Mr. Trump, are you Batman?" And he said, "I am Batman." Of course, he's Bruce Wayne from Gotham, the billionaire from Gotham fighting crime. And he claims he's fighting the crime of the DEEPSTATE. What's the other word? I can't remember. But it's a fancy word for the underworld. And so he's supposedly fighting all of that. He's a crime fighter, and he's the billionaire from Gotham, billionaire from New York City. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's go. Hang on. Let me pause and see if my brain can pick it up. Yep. So I can't even remember what the word was, and don't remember why I was talking about it. But all right. Well, I clearly will not remember where we were because I've just been on the phone for almost an hour. An old friend called up and he wanted to know about these movies we were talking about. Movies, good movies to watch. So there we went because he knows I'm the movie expert, I guess. So anyway, I don't remember, and I'm pretty sure I had lost track of what we were talking about anyway. I remember it was Dark Knight Rises, Rise from the Pit, something about Trump, Batman, but oh, and then I thought about something else. Dia de los Muertos. Wednesday is looking at the Mayflower. And I have it. She looks up there. She says Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead, when she's looking at the Pilgrim, which was the backdrop of the whole movie, Pilgrim in Wednesday. It's called Joseph Crackstone. And so
That's coming up in just a second. Commentary for fair use.
oh,
educational
quit
purposes.
freaking out.
More seating for year-long Dia de los Muertos.
More seating for a year-long Dia de los Muertos. Now, when she says it, I want you to look at the time stamp there, 33:22, 322. Dia de los Muertos. She says Day of the Dead. Did y'all hear that? Or do we need to do it a little bit louder? She says it really fast.
More seating for year-long Dia de los Muertos.
It's-
More seating for year-long Dia de los Muertos. More seating for year-long Dia de los Muertos.
More seating for a year-long Day of the Dead. And who's she looking at? She's looking at this pilgrim. What's over the pilgrim's shoulder? A boat. What boat did they come on? The Mayflower. The Mayflower, Day of the Dead. Seriously. All right, love y'all.